49 car guards arrived in America. Car guards arrived in America. In less than a week being there, they started killing each other there. A man killing his girlfriend. This is what they do here. Killing each other over something. They are in the courts. Killing our people, saying they look like monkeys. Killing blacks here in our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another absolutely mind-melting episode of South African politicians making a fool out of themselves. Today we are diving into Fikile Mbalula's latest racist tirade, and this one, folks, is a doozy. If you enjoy watching grown adults have public meltdowns while destroying their own credibility, smash that like button because we're about to witness a masterclass in political self-destruction. So, I need you to picture this first. You're Fikile Mbalula, okay? You're Secretary General of the ANC. You're supposed to be, a leader. Someone who represents all South Africans regardless of race. Instead, you decide to hold a media conference at Luthuli House and just completely lose your mind. And I mean completely. This man went full mask off racist in the most spectacular way possible, and I wish when I say mask off he was just quoting Future. It's like watching someone play political Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun, so there's no point to it anyway. So what triggered this meltdown? Well, Trump offered refugee status to white Afrikaners, and apparently this broke Mbalula's brain so thoroughly that he forgot how to be a functioning adult in public. The sheer audacity of America acknowledging that some South Africans might be in danger sent this man into an absolute spiral. Here's where it gets absolutely unhinged. This man went through McIntyre levels of unhinged. During this media conference, Mbalula decides to describe white refugees to the US as car guards and murderers. Car guards, murderers. Let me get this straight. People fleeing the country because they fear for their safety are car guards and murderers. That's the best insult you could come up with. It's like calling someone a sandwich and a bicycle. It makes no sense, but he said it with such conviction, you almost have to respect the commitment to the nonsense. And then the murderers part is just where it got really spicy. Because according to AfriForum, Mbalula was specifically stereotyping white South Africans as bloodthirsty murderers who target each other and black South Africans. So apparently, in Mbalula's universe, white people are just murdering each other for sport, like it's some kind of recreational activity. Hey bro, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, just planning on murdering my wife and a few other people. Maybe catch a movie after, because Trump gave us those free tickets. The cognitive dissonance here is absolutely breathtaking. Mbalula calls these refugees car guards, implying they are nothing but poor and desperate people, while simultaneously calling them murderers. So which is it? Are they broke car guards or dangerous killers? Or are they both? It's like he threw every stereotype into a blender and just served up this word salad of confusion. These people are simultaneously unemployed and are serial killers. Make it make sense, Fikile, I'll wait. But here's my favorite part of this entire circus. He's essentially arguing that people who are afraid enough to leave their entire lives behind and flee to another continent as refugees are actually just making it up for fun. Like immigration is some kind of elaborate prank. Haha, we all got you. Yeah, we got you, you little noodle heads. We pretended to be persecuted just so that we could go and stand in American parking lots asking for tips. The logic is so broken, it's almost artistic. Mbalula had the absolute audacity to call South Africa a country as peaceful as a land of sunshines and rainbows. But did he forget about our murder rate? Did he forget about our farm attacks? The daily crime statistics that read like war zone casualty reports? This is like calling the Titanic unsinkable, while actively watching it sink into the Atlantic and ignoring the iceberg. South Africa has one of the highest murder rates in the world, but sure, it's peaceful. If your definition of peaceful includes getting stabbed at school, having your house broken into twice a week, and needing armed response teams on speed dial, then yeah, totally peaceful according to him. It's the kind of statement that makes you wonder if politicians live in the same reality as the rest of us really, or if they have some special access to some alternate dimension where crime statistics are just government fiction and more money pops up into their hands like this. But wait, it gets better. The ANC released a statement saying these refugees flee not from persecution, but from justice, equality, and accountability for historic privilege. Okay, so people leaving the country are just dodging accountability for being born in a certain decade, for being born. That is next level victim blaming right there. Saying these people aren't fleeing violence, but they are fleeing equality. That's like saying people who evacuate during hurricanes are not fleeing the storm, they are fleeing good weather. The mental contortions required to believe this would make Olympic gymnasts jealous. Okay, like, I don't know what level of brain damage it takes for them to come up with statements like that, but you tell me. Because while Mbalula is having his racist meltdown, the rest of the world is watching. Foreign investors, I say this over and over again, diplomatic partners, the media, they are all seeing a senior ANC official publicly stereotyping citizens based on race. This is the same government that lectures other countries about human rights and equality. The same government that fought this at one point. The same government that positions itself as moral authority on the international stage. Meanwhile, their MTN is funding Taliban and their Secretary General is literally doing racist impressions at press conferences. It's like being the school principal while simultaneously being the class bully. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with a knife. AfriForum condemned this racist outburst, and honestly, good for them. Because if the roles were reversed, if a white politician called black refugees car guards and murderers, the entire country would burn down within hours. I don't even think Orania would still exist. The double standard is so obvious, it's insulting to everyone's intelligence. Racism is racism, regardless of who's doing it or who's on the receiving end. But apparently in South Africa, some racism is just more important than others, and it's more equal. It's the kind of selective outrage that makes you question whether anyone actually believes in equality or if it's just a convenient political weapon to use against your opponents. This entire episode is a perfect example of what failed leadership looks like in real time. Instead of addressing legitimate concerns about safety and security, instead of trying to make the country better so that people don't want to leave. Instead of doing that, Mbalula chose to insult the people leaving. Like a toxic ex. Yeah, you better go, you're nothing without me. Imagine the captain of a sinking ship, instead of fixing the holes, he stands on the deck making fun of the passengers getting into the lifeboats. Ha 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 ha! Look at those cowards, I'm Captain Hook. They're too scared to stay on our perfectly safe, definitely not sinking ship. The lack of self-awareness and accountability is genuinely impressive in its completeness, because this whole car guards and murderers narrative of the Afrikaner refugees is pure propaganda designed to dehumanize people who are highlighting problems the ANC just doesn't want to address because they don't feel like it. If you can convince people that refugees are just lying troublemakers, you don't have to deal with the inconvenient reality that your country is dangerous enough to make people flee. It's classic authoritarian playbook stuff. When people point out problems, attack the people instead of addressing the problems. That way, you bully them into silence. When your failures become so obvious, distract by creating enemies. But here's the thing about propaganda. It only works if people are stupid enough to believe it. And because you're watching me, I know you're not stupid enough. And Mbalula's version is so lazy and obvious that even goldfish brains could see through this. Even Stevie Wonder could see through these lies. See through these lies, pun intended. Because the United States is literally granting persecuted people refugee status, wrongfully persecuted. American officials looked at the evidence of what's going on here, conducted interviews, verified claims, and then concluded that, okay, these people are genuinely fleeing persecution. But sure, Fikile, I'm sure your racist rant at a press conference is much more credible than the entire United States immigration system. So who am I? Clearly, American officials are just too stupid to recognize car guards pretending to be refugees, and I'm too stupid for making this video. The arrogance is breathtaking. Because here's the beautiful irony of this whole situation. By attacking these refugees so viciously, Mbalula is actually proving their point. Let me explain. If this is how the government treats people who are already gone, imagine how they treat people who are still here and vulnerable. Imagine how they treat you and me, the people who can't even buy groceries. It's like a dictator saying the people aren't fleeing oppression, while actively oppressing people on live television. The lack of self-awareness is so complete, it almost seems intentional. At the end of the day, this isn't just about Fikile Mbalula being racist, though he absolutely was. This is about a government that has failed so badly that people are literally fleeing the country, and instead of taking responsibility, they are blaming the victims. It's about leadership that chooses division over unity. They make more money when we're divided and not together, so they will use propaganda and racism as long as they can. And honestly, it's about a political party that has become so comfortable with failure that they have forgotten, genuinely forgotten, how to even pretend to care about all their citizens, like a regular lying politician would. What do you think about Mbalula's racist meltdown? Is this the kind of leadership South Africa deserves? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coverage of political disasters as they happen. Because apparently, we're going to have plenty more material to work with. Stay safe out there, everybody. And remember, pray to God that this country stays safe. And if you're thinking of becoming a refugee, according to Mbalula, you will automatically become a car guard or murderer. The transformation is apparently instantaneous. So let us just ask Almighty God for the protection of South Africa. And let's just pray that the Springboks win tomorrow.